There's something in the air, wordies, and it smells an awful lot like seafood. Today's word will take us not to the middle of an ocean nor to the heart of a river, but rather to that magical space between the two, where fresh water and salt water meet. The word of the day is brackish, spelled B-R-A-C-K-I-S-H. Brackish is an adjective that means somewhat salty or briny, as the water in an estuary or salt marsh. Brackish appeared on NPR's show Morning Edition on July 22, 2020, as host Debbie Elliott discussed the closure of a major oyster fishery in Florida. For decades, if you ordered oysters on the half-shell on the eastern Gulf Coast, they most likely came from Apalachicola Bay, an estuary in North Florida where freshwater rivers meet the Gulf of Mexico, creating the perfect brackish mix for growing plump, salty oysters. But in recent years, they're hard to come by. Pressures have been mounting for oyster harvesters here. Droughts, the BP oil disaster, Hurricane Michael, and a lack of freshwater flow from rivers upstream, the subject of a decades-long legal battle between Florida and Georgia. Brackish derives from the adjective brack, simply meaning salty, which comes from a Dutch word that may be connected to an earlier Middle Dutch adjective that meant worthless. While freshwater has a relatively low sodium chloride content and seawater is far saltier, brackish water occurs where these two salt concentrations mix and merge, producing an environment between the two extremes. Because brackish water is too salty to be used for drinking or farming, the Middle Dutch definition of worthless surely applies. Note that brackish also contains the suffix ish, which in this context indicates somewhat, or rather, so while brack is salty, brackish is salty to less than the full extent. Add more flavor to your flow with Word of the Day at dictionary.com.